Alright guys, in this video we're going to be learning how to read multiple and various different types of plans. So one of the first plans we have is the first floor plan of this cabin. And the whole point of doing a plan is to figure out how to construct this plan. All you want to do is try to dimension from out to out. And in this particular plan, what you're focusing on is laying out of the walls, the laying out or the positioning of the windows, and how do you read the windows. So for example, in this case, this is a 3 foot by 4 foot single hung window, and this is what is determined. It is not 3 feet 0 inches. If you see 36, it's not 36 inches, it's actually 3 feet 6 inches. And that's how the windows are read. Now when it comes to doors, these doors are interior 2 foot 6 inch doors. That's a 2 foot door. And that's what I want you to read this as. You place your fixtures. For example, there should be a dimension line that measures to the middle of this fixture, middle of the toilet, middle of the tub, and the clearance of 5 feet that goes from here to here, indicating that there is a space for a bathtub. So when you're dimensioning, you have to make sure that you're catching every one of the walls. Now, when it comes to your countertops, you're showing a solid line for your base cabinets, and you're showing a dashed line. So this should be a dashed line being shown by that layer, indicated by that layer. So this is what I'm looking for. Now you're looking at the porch here, the hatch makes sense, and then moving on, that's pretty much it for the floor plan. What the contractor is looking at is, am I able to get every wall? Am I able to chalk line every wall on the foundation? And can I build this? And all he's doing is trying to get the layout of the walls and the positioning of the doors and windows. Now, on a foundation plan, what you're looking at is the location of all the grade beams, which are indicated by the section A, the outside of the grade beam, and the middle grade beams. Now, if you do have piers, they'll be indicated by a circle that's drawn and is dash line, and that would indicate that there's a pier. And I'm just going to do this for the sake of representation. And that will indicate that there's a pier that is right at this location. And these piers can be placed in anytime you have bad soil. You're looking at type C or type B soils. And the whole idea behind laying out the foundation is you want to indicate your step down wherever you have your brick ledges, and you want to show the outermost perimeter of your foundation, how it's going to be laid out. So that is for the foundation plan. Now moving on to electrical and plumbing, and I want you to become familiar with these terms. SD means smoke detector. Those are your smoke detectors. Now when you're looking at a fixture that is mounted to a ceiling, is usually going to have a plus through it, or is going to be shaped of a fan. It will be a shape of a fan. Now, if you see this fixture and it has all this writing on it, VT stands for vent, HT stands for heater, and LT stands for light. This is a multifunctional fixture. Now, this is a three-way switch being indicated as 3 S's on the plan. Now, you could put S3, which would indicate that this is a three-way switch, and point it to this one fixture. Now, it is being done here on the plan, and there's a reason for this three-way switch being here, because there's not enough space. So you have a switch with 3 switches on there, and then you have an additional plug, or an additional switch that controls the light for the outside. Everything that is determined by the circle with straight lines, this is a duplex outlet or your normal outlet that you see on the wall that's mounted 18 inches off the ground. Now, the good rule of thumb for mounting these to where you have to have these outlets is it should have a maximum 12-foot run between two outlets. So let's say if I have an outlet here, I can go 6 feet this way, 6 feet that way, or maximum 12 feet in one direction to have the next outlet. The idea being every appliance, everything that you have, come with either a 3-foot or a 6-foot cord. So ideally in a bedroom type situation, the longest distance between your two outlets should be 6 feet. Now, granted that if you turn the corner and you can make it 12 feet, but you should also be thinking about the placing of furniture, placement of certain fixtures. Now, this is an electrical and a plumbing plan, so you do have a water heater. This particular house will have 4 gas inlets. So gas is indicated by this symbol here. And it also has a 220 volt connection here. So ideally you have this situation where you can have a water heater that runs off of gas, but you can also have an electric water heater if you choose to go tankless or go electric. You have another gas connection here by the stove. Again, this has a choice of going 220. Again, majority of your of all your electricity runs on 110 unless you have a switch with 3 lines through it and you have a 220 volt indicating that there's a 220 volt electrical connection there. So you have a smoke detector here. Now, something that's missing on this plan is you can have a switch with a dim switch next to it. It'll say S with a dim on it. That just means that there's a light switch that has a dimmer. And another thing that you're missing on here is the carbon monoxide detector. That could be placed in as part of a design decision, or it could be placed in later, but this is a cabin, so it does not require a carbon monoxide detector. Although it is a full functioning standalone cabin, it should have one by code. And then you have your hot water connection, cold water connection, and your bib that will go on the outside, meaning that there's a water connection that goes to the outside. Again, this is a 2-foot by 8-inch window by 3 feet, 2-foot by 8-inch by 3 feet, single hung, right? And on your electrical plan, your main focus is to get your outlets in, to get your gas lines, plumbing lines in. Especially for something this small, you don't need to separate out the electrical plan with the plumbing plan, because ultimately the subcontractors will be pulling their own permit. So the layout is more than sufficient for the plumber and the electrician to know what where everything is going, and they will wire on their own accord. So with that said, that's how you read basic electrical plan, a foundation plan and the purpose of it, and a normal floor plans where the contractor is just looking out for wall layouts, interior wall layouts. Please like, subscribe, and comment below.